Hey people, Injured here, welcome back to the Elite League show for Season 6 into the quarterfinals here of Division A, kicking off on Saval Frontier. Say hello to Kickin with a mech boy, teleporting hero, fighting in ranged combat, puts out some good damage and has a bunch of Orky gadgets. Up against is Torpid with a Lictor Alpha, a melee specialist, going to infiltrate and disrupt some powerful offense and a bit of support. Top 8 players then from each division going through to these knockout stages, and it's best of 5 from here on out. Torpid, former champion. I don't think they entered the last couple of leagues though. So I think they were champion of 2 and 3, but then didn't enter 4 and 5. I think that's right. Well, here they are in Season 6. Got some Spore Mines on the way. I expect some Warriors from Torpid after that. I guess you don't want a Pain Boy here because they get flesh hooked. So I'm not sure what Kickin is going to go for. Maybe some Looters help control this central passage here. Lictor gets in amongst some Shooter Boys. Sluggers counter initiate. Yep. Probably going to get flesh hooked here. There it is. Using it just to get the kill. Wah is popped. Here come more Shooter Boys. I don't know if they can save these Sluggers. Maybe they can. Oh, special attack wins that engagement for the Lictor, or wins that little fight at least. The Shooter Boys do force him off with the Daka. And here comes the Mech Boy. Tying stuff up in melee with his teleport to get in there. Got those Mech Boy left hooks. Here comes Spore Mines. These guys detonate with a bit of damage up front and then damage over time. I think the Orcs can hold here. Get rid of these Termagants maybe. Yeah, I don't think the Termagants will stay around. Here come the Spore Mines again. Trying to Daka them down, but they do force you back. Mech Boy's getting kind of low. Have to teleport out. Held up much better than I thought there. See Torpid upgrading to Toxin Sacks. Obviously the brood that has the most models gets the upgrade first. Burners immediately from the Sluggers, so does not go for the big shooters first to try and control this Lictor. And also the Knob Leaders will be useful because they can spot that guy sneaking around. There's big shooters, gets the big shooters before the Knob Leader. So if the Lictor sneaks like that, they can't spot him at all. So these guys are going to have a bad time. Hormagaunts, what are they up to? They backed off. I thought they were going for this, but I don't want to fight Sluggers with Burners up there, I don't think. Lictor Alpha in amongst Shooter Boys again. Here comes the Mech Boy. So a lot of Daka potentially to bring to bear on the Lictor. Torpid targeting the squad that does have the big shooters though. They're going for the Garrison, I think. Maybe. I thought they'd turn and try to suppress him there perhaps. That was a flesh hook on the Mech Boy rather than getting a Shooter Boy kill. Daka is going to, take its toll eventually, and the Lictor Alpha has to back off. Spore Mines for the Sluggers. Hormagaunts are down here now. They do have their adrenal glands. More damage, more health. And leap attack range up. Did some good damage to the Sluggers there with those Spore Mines. Now we have double Toxin Sack Termagants, and as you can see, they can really pump out some damage in Tier 1. Still no Knob Leader for these fellows. We've got Storm Boys on the way for Kickin. That's going to be fun. And here's the Warrior Brood from Torpid. Out much later than I thought. Upgraded all 3 of these broods first. I thought we'd see a Barb Strangler and Looters, but now we've got Storm Boys. Barb Strangler could be a big liability. These are jump troops with power melee weapons, so they're a big threat in melee to the Warrior Brood with their heavy infantry armor doing extra damage to those guys. Here they are. Start off as a melee unit. They provide a basic synapse to non-synapse creatures, giving some defensive buffs. Sluggers are coming mid. Lots of Daka for those Termagants. Got torn up there. Lictor Alpha being sneaky. Can't get right close to stuff where he's going to be spotted. Goes in on the Mech Boy there. And does have the Toxin Miasma for some damage over time. And debuffs. Debuff both speed and damage output. It's pretty good. Warrior Brood and Hormagaunts in amongst the Sluggers. But here comes Storm Boys. Need to try and target the Warriors to get those Synapse explosions. When a Synapse creature dies, it provides a backlash on non-Synapse creatures. Well, inflicts a backlash, I should say, knocking down and doing damage. There's GG from Kickin. Lost some shooter boys and got torn up in that fight. They give up. They did not want to continue. Mech Boy went down. Oh, no, it didn't go down. Mech Boy's alive, so they only lost shooter boys. I mean, the other two squads did get absolutely torn up. They're going to need to fully reinforce. They were behind. Torpid would have been on power. So it would have been really tough for Kickin to come back. But it's a quick one for game one. Torpid takes it 1-0. I'll see you in the next one. Welcome back, guys. Game 2 is on Dorillo's Forge, and Kickin has a Warlock. Where has he gone? There he is. A melee spellcaster that leaps into combat, some powerful disruption and support. And Torpid with a Hive Tyrant. A durable hero walks through objects and cannot be suppressed with powerful disruption and offense, fighting in melee combat by default with a basic synapse. I think Torpid maybe went random. You could go random, but I think then you needed to call out which hero you got at the start of the game, so maybe not. So I did not see any call out from Torpid at the start of the game. Howling Banshees on the way for Kickin. The double termagants for Torpid. They really did kill the multiple Hormagaunt opening in 1v1s, didn't they? I don't think we've seen it at all since 295 hit, and Hormagaunts were nerfed here and there. Destructor, wow, really messed up those termagants. More than half their health gone, I think. Other termagants weighing in with some Devourer fire. There's that leap into combat. Guardians there tickling the Hive Tyrant. Oh, we need to name this fella. Let's call him Ricardo. Double termagants into spawn mines again for Torpid. We saw that in game 1 with that Lictor Alpha. Howling Banshees on the prowl, going for that Hive Tyrant. Oh, one of them got hit by that special attack, but they are a threat to Ricardo here. For those power melee weapons on a low level hero. Torpid there just putting L in the chat so it shows up as a league game, although that might have been too late. Someone's always asks why they put L in the chat, is to tell the reporter system that it's a league game, so it gets highlighted. That's what it does. Makes it much easier for me to find these games on the match log though. Appreciate that feature. Spawn mines taken down. Guardians pumping out some good damage early on here. Here's more spawn mines. These fellas are in heavy cover, but I don't think all of the models can get into it. Oh, just retreats from the spawn mines. No finesse. No finesse attempted there with trying to split and kite and shoot, which gives termagants an easy cap. Here comes a Guardian weapon team from Kickin. Nobody has gone northeast yet. The 3 VPs through this central part of the map here. None of them natural, much like Saval Frontier actually. In fact, is this the exact same layout, point layout as Saval Frontier? It might be. They might have just used this layout. This map was from a guy called London Duncan. Created a lot of the really early maps for Dawn of War 2. Also created a very helpful map making guide, which I read back in the day when I was making maps. Guardians decapping that central VP. Destructor. No sign of it yet. Spawn mines getting in on the Guardian weapon team there. Doing some good damage too. There's a Destructor. Gonna get forced to retreat though. Meanwhile, Howling Banshees on the prowl again. And they have the aspect of fleetness. In tier 1 it gives them more health and the war shout, as well as the fleet, but in tier 2 the different aspects give them different weapons on their Exarch. Also fleetness allows them to jump over stuff, which can be very useful. Messed up those Hormagaunts pretty well, didn't they? The war shout won't affect the Hive Tyrant because he can't be suppressed. Uh-oh, spawn mines. That's a really good detonation, hit all 3 of them. Also hit the Hive Tyrant, but it's not much of a threat versus single entities, especially when you've got over 1,000 hit points. Really good work from that spawn mine, holy crap. 3 models on those guys, 2 models on those guys, 2 models on the Banshees. Indeed. Torpid now capping up. Do we have... Yep, upgraded broods before anything else. Shuriken needs to move up a bit here. Doesn't want to get caught while it's moving though. Hive Tyrant is quite low. Oh, these guys didn't finish his cap. Mistake from Torpid. Do they get suppressed? They don't get suppressed. That must have been close. They were far enough away not to get instantly suppressed and they got out of there. Formagaunts are going to find a Warlock, who I imagine is not in the mood for a chat. Nope, it's Lightning Hands. Old Lightning Hands, they call him. No Destructor again. Expected it on the Formagaunts as they came in, because there it is, as a melee unit comes into melee, they tend to bunch up a lot and you can hit good Destructors and good Doom Bolts. You'll see players do that. With the Sorcerer too, of course, with the Doom Bolts. Strange place to set your Guardian Weapon team up. I guess he's trying to cover both approaches there. What am I hearing? Oh, was that a Spore Mine detonation I heard?
Enemy movement.
Sounded like a grenade launcher or something. Here's a Ravener Brood. Wow, really messing up that Guardian Weapon team, and there's a Burrow Strike. Start off with these ranged Devourer weapons, but they can get stuck into melee reasonably well. Also have a dedicated melee upgrade you can get, giving him more health, more speed, more melee damage. It's pretty fun. Double cap for Torpid has not dropped a VP off the counter yet. Did they drop a VP off the counter in the first game? I can't remember. It's a very quick game. Is that Termagant's back at base? No. Oh look, it's because they didn't finish this reinforcement hit on the power. Guardian Weapon team is going to get jumped by the Raveners most likely. Nope, Raveners backing off. For now. Oh, they got the gen. Yeah, just back off now. Make the Guardian Weapon team move. If you're fighting a setup team, try to make them move, because they don't like it. They need to tear down their weapons, get rolling and set them up again. Sometimes you can catch them before they can set up. Banshees trying to get the flank. There's the War Shout. Oh, but it didn't fully go off, I don't think. Nothing got suppressed. And that was a seismic roar from Ricardo the Hive Tyrant. From his rending talons there. Double cap still. Also has extended carapace, so can charge down the Guardian Weapon team. So forget about that stuff I was talking about. Backing off to make it move. Just charge it. What was that? Oh, that was channeling runes. It was a very strange time to use it. I think they were trying to target us Guardians, but the Warlock was already in melee kind of thing. Couple of decent grenades. I was kind of unlucky there. That the Termagants moved like that and didn't get hit. Triple cap now for Torpid, and they're on the power again. There's the tier 2s. Kickin doesn't have a lot of resources though going into tier 2. So much for GG's. Just going to be it. It's just going to be 2-0 to Torpid right here. Bashing the node. Yeah, I don't know what Kickin can do about this. They're going into tier 2 with no power, and now their power's getting decapped. Couldn't quite get the synergy between the Warlock and the Banshees going. With the Warlock setting up Banshee charges with the leap and also supporting them with the channeling. I don't remember it ever being actually used on the Banshees. There's a concede from Kickin. Torpid takes a 2-0 victory. Reminder that this is a best of 5. So they need to win 3 of them. And I'll see you in that third game. Game 3 then, we are on Greentooth Gorge, and Torpid has a Warlock. Melee spellcaster that leaps into combat with some powerful disruption and support the same Han elite scheme here. Kickin with a Force Commander, very good offense, fighting in melee with some tankiness, support and disruption. The Blood Ravens over here. I mainly see Kickin as a Force Commander player, but that's typically in 3v3 stuff. Banshee's up for Torpid. of course, some tactical marines from Kickin, but not scouts afterwards, apparently. Huh. I was definitely expecting scouts and double shotguns and stuff. These guys will head over to the west side, and who are they going to meet there? Nobody, apparently. Warlock's gone straight to the mid and gets bolter fire to the face to persuade them to leave. In fact, we are going to see some Guardians going to the west side, and they should deal with scouts quite well. Scouts don't 1v1 very well early on with their bolters. Kind of need to avoid the fighting. But that changes very quickly when you get their shotguns. Warlock's going after him. Let them cap though, which was odd. Expected them to leap in before the cap was done. Maybe they were trying to time it just before the cap finished and they kind of messed up. Or maybe they were waiting for the Banshees to come in. Either way, Kickin got the cap. Force Commander's taking some shots out of the garrison, but only units that can see him can shoot him, obviously, so there's only one there. Banshees chasing off the scouts now. Looks like they did not get to the west side, and Guardians were able to freely cap it up. Force Commander Bolt Pistol getting a pop there. Warlock using his foot speed to go for the eastern VP, which is natural for Kickin. Starts off that fleet of foot, of course. And we see the aspect of fleetness on the way for the Howling Banshees. Typically, you'd expect to see aspect of strength in most matchups, aside from perhaps Tyranids and maybe Orcs. Ouch. Shotgun blasted the job, but the Banshees are still there. Chop, 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 chop. I mean, even against Orcs. War Truck, Death Dread. Aspect of strength, pretty damn useful. Just the added utility of having a soft melee soft vehicle counter on your Banshees. Hard to turn up, and Warlock going for that wreck point in the southeast corner. Grenade is dodged quite casually there by the Force Commander. Banshees did get a decap. There's the battle cry. Starting ability of the Force Commander, who will do special attacks like this for the next 10 seconds for some disruption and to provide a damage bonus to nearby allies. You see these yellow circles they now have on their feet. That's the damage bonus from the battle cry. 10% damage bonus per. So you can stack that up pretty well. Maybe get a 40% on it if you can get 4 special attacks going. So the way to counter that, of course, is to try to avoid the Force Commander when he pops his battle cry. Not always possible. You want to make him waste it. Not only did he not get the disruption, but you stop things being buffed. Warlock perfectly timing that leap there. Grenade. Some friendly fire on the Warlock. Don't think it hit anything else, or maybe it got a bit of the Force Commander. Kickin with Assault Marines on the way. We got Rangers up here now for Torpid. Sniper Infantry with some good support abilities. Pathfinder gear on the way allows them to infiltrate and infiltrate others, as well as giving them the Kinetic Pulse ability. Long range disruption. East side. Scouts with shotguns and Sergeant. So they're now ready to fight pretty well. Aspect up on the Guardians here. For their own grenades. Also gets more health and shields and fleet. Really good upgrade for those guys. Banshees looking for a fight with Tactical Marines. These guys backing the hell away. Do not want to fight Banshees, especially early on, without their Sergeant and stuff. Here come Assault Marines though. They will fight them. There's the War Shout, and they back off. It's typically a pretty close fight between Banshees and Assault Marines in Tier 1. Banshees will happily take the fight if they don't get jumped usually. But the Assault Marines there, as you saw, got the jump, which allows them to get a bunch of attacks in while the Banshees are on the ground. Makes a big difference in the rest of the fight. The Banshees are already quite low as well. Well, a little bit low. Grenade is dodged. Warlock with the Merciless Witchblade now. Fantastic weapon. Quite expensive though. At 35 power, I believe. Draining energy on hit. Good damage output, and also has the ranged disruptive attacks. So bad news for the Assault Marines. It will do a lot of damage to them and drain their energy so they can't jump away. Or otherwise jump somewhere else. More scouts for Kickin now. Good shout, I think. Grenade. Oh, Battle Cry was active, so he wasn't knocked over. Battle Cry also gives you weapon knockback immunity while it's active, which is handy. Rangers getting shots in and persuade him to leave. Ouch. Most of the Switchblade dicing up one of those tactical marines. What is this? It's Banshees. Looking for those scouts. These are the new scouts. I don't have any upgrades. Using that northwest corner to hide right now. Gonna get some bolter fire in. Scout bolters don't do a huge amount of damage. I guess they're just less accurate than tactical marines or something. Kinetic pulse and a back off there. Tier 2 for Kickin. Got assault marines up. Got upgraded scouts and gets to tier 2 first. Banshee's going straight back to the wreck point after scaring them off with a yell. Uh-oh. Rangers. Oh, very lucky not to drop another model there. Very lucky. Are they going to jump to the VP now? Banshees are kind of low, but assault marines are also not full. But nope, they are scaring off Guardians. It's the Force Commander's going to go for this VP. 470 to 255. There's a tier 2 for Torpid, not too far behind. Grenade on retreat path. Got one of them. If you kill a model with your retreat grenade, it's a decent grenade, I think. Some Marines trying to preserve some health. Force Commander is going to get the east side. Meanwhile, Warlock decaps that power. Taking some bolter fire. But once he gets into melee, there's that special attack. This weapon used to have power melee on its special attack, but it doesn't anymore, I don't think. Very fancy animation, though. Needs to try and stabilize the mid a little bit here. Kicking what they're going for. They're going for a Razorback. The Banshees did not get the aspect of strength, so they can't do much against the Razorback in tier 2. I mean, lots of power melee attacks on rear armor can do some work, but the heavy melee spear obviously would have been way better for that. No anti-vehicle options yet then for Torpid. Could get fire dragons up very quickly and get their dragon scale armor so they can't be knocked over. There's the jump. Everything infiltrated there by the hollow fields of the Rangers. Force Commander got messed up. Scouts got very close because everything was infiltrated. Grenade was decent. Banshees are still chasing. So quick. So quick. Razorback with a twin-linked heavy bolter. Good anti-infantry damage also allows you to reinforce infantry on the field. And here comes a Falcon from Torpid. Much like the Razorback allows you to reinforce and transport infantry around, but the Falcon has better weaponry, which is why it's more expensive. No, cancels it, goes for a Wraith Lord. Most likely with a Bright Lance shoulder mounted. For 70 to 183. Double cap for Torpid. Can Kickin turn this around in tier 2, get a game back? Oh, Force Commander went down. I didn't even realise. Was that what the Banshees finished off while they were chasing there? Probably. Indrid is blind. So that's a kick in the teeth for Kickin. Good damage output on that Warlock there. Doing like an 1/8 of his health per burst, it looked like. Sneaky scouts. Not sure why they're being sneaky back here. The Rangers would spot them anyway. Here's the Wraith Lord. And it is a shoulder-mounted Bright Lance, which is an anti-infantry weapon. Still big, scary melee weapon as well, of course. There's that Bright Lance firing. Got one shot, 2 shots. I don't know if any of them hit. Didn't seem to do any damage to the Razorback. I don't think they hit. 470 to 147. Torpid using that foot speed to get onto the power now. Here's a drop pod. with some Marines for some missile launcher and melter bomb maybe. Here's warp spiders now for Torpid. It's a big army of Marines here. Can Kickin push with this? There's the jump. Some brave assault Marines there jumping right into the Wraithlord's sword. Grenade goes in. Wraithlord is not melee attacking here. Looks like he's on range stance. I was just trying to shoot stuff. There's a Razorback smoke. But yeah, no missile launchers. Did not really jump in with the plan. I guess just wanted to stop the power bash, eh? But they're on it again. It's a double cap for Torpid. Down to 100 VPs is Kickin. What is this? It's scouts getting caught by warp spiders there. Teleporting ranged infantry, put out some good damage. And has some good utility with their haywire grenade. Getting their aspect now. There it is. Gives the Exarch a fancier weapon. Dual death spinners. Kickin having a bad day. Yeah, they're busy typing, which is why those guys died. Just got kind of outmaneuvered. Looks like Torpid is going to take this series 3-0. There it is. Level 2 Warlock at the end had the Champion's Robe. The Force Commander still down. Unfortunately for them, did not level up. And there you have it. Torpid's going to advance to the semi-finals. Well done Kickin for getting this far up against a very strong player in Torpid. Thank you for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you in the next quarter-final.